Be gone, evil spirits!
All right, the much requested tube light video, as if these are the revolutionary new lights to use that's going to make everything fantastic. So I know there's millions of them out there, so don't say, what about this one? What about that one? What about that one? I can't possibly cover them all, but I got a dozen of them here, which is a good cross-section of the most popular ones. So here we go. All right, we're going to start with this. They go from the dimmest to the brightest, okay? So these are the very dimmest ones, and these are the brightest ones. And I'll mention the price and everything else. So the first one up is this one here. It's very basic. This is the Digital Photo W152 LED light stick. Almost all of these are RGB. So I don't know, this is all relative, but at a 4-foot distance, I measured them all at 4 feet with a light meter at 1/60th of a second, ISO 100. And this was 0.4. That's what I registered at. So this is very, very dim. The most brightest one was over 2, but that one's 0.4. So that gives you an idea of the range from here to here. All right, the next one up. Oh, by the way, this is $35. That's like the basic one. This is the one, the second one. This is the one I like the most. This is taller than that one. This is a Ulanzi VL119. It's an ultralight. It's so light, it feels like an empty plastic tube. Like, I can't believe there's a battery in here, but I had this thing running to test how long it runs for. It runs for like almost 2 hours, like 90 minutes. This thing is incredible. It just would never go off. And it's just full power. This thing runs for almost 2 hours. It's amazing. And it's so simple. It's so easy. It has an on-off switch on the side. It has a nice little LED display on there. You charge it with USB. I got 4 of them, a set of 4 for $120. And they are so lightweight. That's why I like them. That's why this is one of my favorite ones of all. The Ulanzi VL119 ultralight. So here I am using the 4 of them indoors. These are the only lights that are on in this room. That's it. It's the only thing that's lighting them up is these 4 little lights. You can get nice soft lighting inside, indoors, when you're just using even little things like this. You can get creative with the positioning of them. I put 2 of them off here as an edge light and 2 of them here as the soft light. A lot of different ways you can set these lights up. And it is RGB. It's just not very bright. It's like 0.5, so it's not that bright. Next one up is this one here. This one is one of the first ones that came out, the Nanlite Pavo Tube 26C. This is 0.58 on the meter reading. This is $80, and they don't make them anymore. I think you can still get them at B&H, but they're starting to not make them anymore because Ulanzi just came out with something just like it for half the price for $49. And that's the Ulanzi V110, which is just like this one, the Ulanzi V110, RGB and everything. Really easy to use. You just push the button on, and it has its thing. It's of course, RGB and all that. This is nice. The thing I like about this one here is they're magnetic. It comes with these 2 little metal plates that you can just literally tape to a wall, and then you just stick this thing to the wall. You can stick it anywhere these metal plates are. That is just so practical. And you can do not just daylight and tungsten, 3200 or 56. It's an RGB light, so it can change any color you want. Red, green, blue, whatever. There's so many ways to use this light. It's just so practical and cool. And they have 1/4-20 threading on each end, so you can screw as many of these together as you want and have a really long bulb. You can get an optional battery handle, which gives it extra battery power so it runs even longer. You just screw it in like that, plug in the USB, and now you have a lightsaber. All right, Marcus, you're getting a little crazy now. Camera hot shoes the world over get scared when they see me coming. Or you can screw the battery handle into the bottom of it, so now you have a handle to hold on to, and now you have a bigger light source that you can use to scare away evil spirits.
Be gone, evil spirits!
Another cool option you can get for this wonderful light is this amazing clamp thingy here, which you can put on a light stand or any kind of grip pin, and then just clamp it to that. And since it has a hole on the side here, you can also do it sideways, which is really cool. Either way, or you could use, for example, like a grip pin like this. These are plates that have a pin attached to it, which you can screw to anything. So you can screw this to the wall or the ceiling, and then attach the light. So now this can attach to a wall or, you know, whatever. And there's even a smaller version you get. If you don't have a lot of space, you don't have to use a big one. They have little ones like this too, which is really cool. You can get these in modern studio equipment. And another thing that's really option you can get is this tiny little egg crate louver, so it directs the light. So you can put that on there. So now you have directional light from this thing. Look at this. This is so cool. Look at that. That is amazing. Really cool. Turn it on. How cool is that? And you can like aim it up or down. So that's the Nanlite Pavo Tube 2.6C. $80, but the Ulanzi version is $49. Okay, here we have the Neewer. I like this one. This one is kind of cool. The Neewer CL124 Pro Light Wand. It's 1.01 on the meter reading. It has the barn doors, which I don't like to use these barn doors very much. It's like they're, I wonder if it comes off. Does it come off? Really basic. It has an on-off switch and a power from 1 to 10 and the temperature setting. This is just bicolor. It's not RGB, but I like it. It's so simple. It's like, it just feels good in the hand. It's really easy to use. I'm going to take off these barn doors. I like this one too. This one's kind of cool. The Neewer CL124 Pro Light Wand. It's $51. I like it. It's kind of long, easy to use. I like easy to use, simple things. Okay, next up we have the Viltrox H18. Really heavy duty. It weighs quite a bit. It has these plastic barn doors, which I don't like. But anyway, it has an on-off switch, and then here's the controls. This is pretty heavy duty. This is pretty heavy. It weighs, oh, it's backwards. Weird. Why is this, why are the barn doors facing backwards? I don't get it. Anyway, so this is 2 pounds. It weighs quite a bit, $79. The Viltrox H110, the light level is 1.04. It's okay, but it's really heavy. I don't like heavy things, so let's move on. All right, next up we have this one. This is a long one. This is the Savage LW LED light wand. This comes with a handle that you can turn, which is kind of weird because this is as basic as it gets. This is just daylight, and it's 110 volts. You have to plug in a wall. It's really basic. It just has an on-off switch here. This is an old-style radio knob, on-off and volume. Makes it brighter and dimmer. That's it. That's the whole control. It's not even bicolor. You have to plug in a wall, so I don't know why they have a handle for it because it's not really portable. So it doesn't even have a 1/4-20 thread. It has a hold so you can put it on a light stand, but it is tall and the light reading is 1.4, $70, very ultra basic. Okay, next up is the MS30L. This one is also 110 volts, but I like this one more than this because this one has 2 knobs, one for the color and one for the brightness. And this one actually comes with a handle, just like the other one, which is like this. But when do you ever use a handle? Like, who's going to walk around holding one of these things like this? I mean, you usually put it on a light stand, right? So I don't like handles. It has 4 screws on here, and you know Marcus, first thing I did was get a screwdriver, and I took off the handle. I removed the handle, and I put on the little 1/4-20 screw-in thing with 3 screw holes that you can attach to the bottom. So now this can screw onto a light stand or anything that's 1/4-20. I like that. And really lightweight. I like things that are lightweight, easy to use. This is bicolor, just one control for bicolor, one control for on, off, and brightness. It is 110 volts, but that input is not 110 volts. That's a lower voltage. You just look at the transformer on here and it says 12 volts. So this is 12 volts, so anything that's 12 volts battery-wise, and if you got this kind of connector like that. It's a basic barrel connector. 12 volt with a barrel connector, you can make it battery powered. Get a V mount, which is 15 volts to 12 volt adapter, and just plug it in there. So that'll work. This is $56, and it comes with a stand. This thing actually comes with a light stand, which is kind of cool. So $56 with a light stand and the light. I like that one. It's lightweight. That's why I like it. All right, next up we have the Zhiyun Fiveray F100. This thing weighs a ton. This is heavy. It's 2.5 pounds. Has the barn doors, which really don't make much difference other than not allowing the light to go sideways, but I don't care. This thing is a light reading 1.49. It's $199 and it weighs a ton, so I don't like it because it's expensive and heavy. And if you look at the back, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fans. So this is not silent, and it's heavy, and it's just not fun to use. It's anyway, and it's $200. Who wants that? So let's move on. All right, next up we have the Godox LC500 Mini. This is a light reading of 2.01, and it's $129. It comes with this barn doors on there. So the first thing I did was take that off, and I got this, which is I like a lot more. It comes with a diffusion material. It's like a little softbox type setup here, which you put on here and then open it up, and it gives you like a mini softbox. But I think I did some testing, and it's kind of a joke, actually. I mean, what is that? I mean, that is not going to be, it doesn't really look that much different than that, or just that. Forget the barn doors. They don't do anything. Just this. This looks just like using the diffusion. $129. Light meter reading of 2.01. Easy to use. You just put the controls on the back here. I like it. This is one of the good ones that I kind of like. Good old Godox. Okay. Now, speaking of Godox, this one I don't like. It looks so nice because it's white, but this is another one of the ones with half a dozen fans on the back. This one weighs a ton. This is 3 pounds. This is even heavier. This is 3 pounds, and it weighs a ton, and the light meter reading is only 2.04, so it's not that much brighter than that one. And it's just heavy as hell. Like you can't even hold this with your hand for more than a minute without your arm getting tired. They're all RGB. They all have the same basic controls, but the weight, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fans on the back, that's a. I mean, it's funny because some of these have a lot of fans, which make noise, and some of them have no fans at all, and they're just as bright, which is kind of weird. All right, moving on. So we have Yongnuo YN360. This one's kind of interesting. The Yongnuo, leave it to Yongnuo to make something interesting. It runs on an NP battery. There's no battery inside here. So you put an NP battery in here, and you push the button to turn it on, and there you go. And it also comes with this. So if you want to go from daylight to tungsten, you can do this. The weird thing is, it is RGB, and it does have all the colors, so you're wondering, like, why is this in there then? Well, you have to go through this whole funky process of getting different colors. It's not easy. You have to go through like 4 different steps to get, like you can get from yellow to orange, but then you have to push another button to go from pink to purple, and then you have to push another button to go from blue to green. It's not easy to change colors with this thing. And it doesn't, I mean, it's just, so it's better to just leave it on daylight and then just click this on there, but then you're losing light too. When you're like this in daylight, it's 2.05 light reading, but when you put this on here, you're down to 1.5, so you're losing half a stop. It's $98. It's okay. I kind of like it, but I don't like the funky RGB controls. That's what makes it not fun. Otherwise, it's pretty bright when you have it just on daylight. So I would just use this thing as a daylight source. This is the 360. This is the 363 version 3. Same thing. Uses an NP battery in there. Now this one this is kind of funky here. It has a finger dial. Like you can actually rotate that Watch this. You can see if I rotate my finger around the colorful circle here, it changes whatever it is that you want. You can change the color, temperature, the brightness. So it's like a touch control. It's like a toy. And then you got controls down here too. You can do it like click, click, click the old school way, or you can just turn this colorful dial and then change the thing. This is kind of interesting, and it's pretty bright. And this one also has the tungsten plastic that goes on the front, because again, it's not the easiest thing to change colors. You think it is because of this, but it's still a little funky. But I guess they're trying different creative ways of switching from RGB to bicolor and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is the Yongnuo YN360. Again, it runs on an NP battery, which is kind of cool because if the battery runs out, you just replace it. In other words, some of these other ones, if the battery runs out, you got to recharge it. This one, you just put another battery in. That's kind of cool. Light reading 2.07, and it's $118. This one is $98 for a little bit more. This is $118, and I put this one in here because it is technically a tube light, right? I mean, I've already made a video about this. This is like a foldable shop light. I got this at Home Depot, and I love this thing. Now, if you want to talk about long lights, look at the length of, is that one on? How long? This thing's been on the whole time. Wow. Let me turn it off. Okay. Now, look at how long this one is compared to all these other ones. This thing is only $23, and it's the same light level as this one, the Godox LC500. This is heavy compared to this. This weighs nothing. Of course, the longer the light is, the softer the light is because you're covering more things. I made videos about this thing, how this thing can get really nice soft lighting with this thing. And then when you're done, you just fold it up like this. Look at this, wrap around light. You can wrap it around you. And look how long this thing is, $23. Every time I mention this thing, they sell out. You gotta really look for it. It's FEIT is the company. This is 110 volts, so you can't battery power it. That's the only thing. But it's so lightweight, and it's so big, and it's pretty bright, and it's so easy to use. As you can see, I've got a bunch of them over here. I got a whole bunch of them. I got even more on the other side. So I love those. So anyway, these are the ones that everybody's hyping up. They think these are like the hot new things, and they're, I don't know. I guess they're okay, but they're long. Putting them in your suitcase, they take up a lot more space than a little light like this, you know, like a little cob light. But they are cool because they do spread the light wider, so you can get, if you have like one here and one here, you can get a nice soft light on each side. It looks flattering for a face, and they are practical for putting like under shelves and doing your RGB blue and purple backgrounds. You got to have that to be popular on YouTube. My favorite ones are this one here. This is so ultra light. The Ulanzi VL119, you get 4 of them for $120. That's pretty amazing. Super light. It's not the brightest one, but it's really lightweight, and it runs forever on I'm amazed there's even a battery in here. It feels so lightweight. I'm amazed there's even a battery here. The other one I like is this one here that I changed the bottom on, the MS30L, and I also like the Godox. Even though this one is pretty heavy, those are the, I'm going to take this, I like this one too. So get that one out of here. So the ones that are left are the ones that I'm giving away. Let's see here. I don't know about these yet. These are kind of funky though. Yeah, I think I'm going to give these away too. So, all right. So I'm giving away the digital photo. What is this? This is the the W150. Pretty lightweight, really simple, easy to use. RGB. The WL150. The W150 too. All right, the Neewer CL124. No, I'm keeping this one. I like this one. Yeah, I just got to get these barn doors off. What am I saying? I like that one. Okay, the Viltrox H18 heavy duty. Like, you know, I don't know if you notice this. I'm giving away all the heavy duty ones, the big expensive ones, which I don't know. They're just so big and heavy and clunky. The Viltrox H18, the Zhiyun Fiveray F100, the Godox White LC1000, the Yongnuo YN360, and the YN360 III. I'm giving away these ones. I hope you got something out of this. There's your tube light video, strip lights, whatever you want to call it. Okay, see you next video. Bye.